Well, what's up, bag holders? Welcome to the main account. Had a lot of activity. It was chicken tonight. So have fun in the comments. You can roast me if you want, but it's all part of the big master plan. I'm lowering my leverage and getting prepared for some deals if they should arise. But I have no problem ever of putting money in the market, so I can always be fully invested in the blink of an eye. Nucor, let's get the spreadsheet going again. The Nucor order filled, I believe that was a swing trade. Okay, we got that on the video for Friday. We got our money in the charity went in. MDT actually paid us a dividend. And Ben Franklin paid a dividend as well. EXC filled, so let's check that out. Computer's not really wanting to cooperate, but we're just going to keep pushing forward here. On the 15th. So this was this morning. So we're already up to current. I did have a lot of activity. I'm not sure how much money it is because I went to baby size. Safety first, right? That should be your thing. And then we did make our sell and ease joke on Friday. That filled as well. Right up against the 200. It's not my favorite, but it is what it is. And I am a market participant. All right, moving right along. WY, which is the REIT we got into. It was a little on the fence, but it fit the system, so we rolled with it. Swing trade entry. And so as we go through these, you'll understand why maybe I was a little chicken on some of these. All right, so I cut a lot at the 200 MA, the golden line, and it's the golden line for a reason. And but you can see we have no problem finding positions to put on. Polaris. Looks like this is a multi-position. Yeah. You saw we swing trade entered here and got stuffed, but then we got back in here, so our average is somewhere in here. So when we get up to the line, we'll be in profits, and it'll be a retest, and we'll be riding off into the sunset. Maybe on the flip side here. Can't really find them. That's how you know you have too many positions. Way too many. There it is. It's good math there. So let's go ahead and add in the latest edition. All right, moving right along. Bought Bud. Bought some Bud. War against inflation on that one. TEX. What's up, Tex? Swing trade entry. Right at the 200. We have some stuff here too. We do. This was a previous one as well. Look at this one fail. Similar shape to the Polaris trade. But worry not. We're in the game. And we did collect a dividend. Like that saves it. When something goes down 50%, you're like, but we collected a dividend. Like that saves it, you know. But it's a true story, but yeah, sometimes they just tank. All right, SLGN. We're starting to build some pretty big positions here. But notice that we bought the 30 every time, we would have really been over allocated in our portfolio to a stock that's trending down. And that really will make it almost impossible or impossible to beat the markets. So I don't want to do that. I want to crush it, you know. So that's the whys and what fors of my position sizing amounts, because that took me a lot of trial and error, and mostly error. Brown-Forman bought some of that. Little war against inflation. Realty Income, ticker symbol O, was a buy based off of the charity stuff. Unilever was the spinoff play. Let's see here. I guess we'll just go in line. There was a lot of activity today, so we'll just skip around a little bit, but I know y'all don't care. Day trade stuff. Oil. Looks like we're bigger than this. We're down here. There was the entry. So is that the bottom? I don't know. Swing trade entry hit, and here we go. So I'm just trading the RSI on this thing. It seems to work out. And while we're in day trade mode, let's go ahead and get the rest of them out. Bye, 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 bye. Looks like a sell and a rebuy. Ooh, little lag there on gold. And you can see it perfectly. Here's your sell. And here's where you're getting back in. Beautiful. It is beautiful. We just sold it on the 12th. So that was what, Friday? Friday to Monday. Just getting paid. So let's go ahead and get the spreadsheet going here. Looks like we've got 3 lots in the bank, and it looks like we sold 3 lots. So not a big position, but that's all right. I'll take a small gain too, because it keeps me in flow without the position getting so big where my chin is exposed. It was only 0.52% return, which is exactly what we got on Friday. So for the month of July, we've sold this thing 5 times for a grand total of 3.34% returns. Let's check out the S&P real quick, just so we know what we're up against. 3.18, beating the market. Selling gold, baby. So not a huge alpha there, but a little something, something. Looks like we sold bonds on Friday. And then we were able to get back in today. So you see, just buy, 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 buy. Building a position. Or as some people would say, bag holding. I'm a bag holder. Proud bag holder. Similar condition here. We got the sell on the silver. Got opportunity to get back in. It was during my nap time. I do take a nap. And I just missed out. That's okay. It looks like 10 lots on the sell. Let's just confirm 3, 6, 9, 10 on the sell. I think we did just a hair better here on the silver position. We just sold it on the 11th, which was Thursday. So it's a consistent mover as well. In anything that is repeatable and consistent, you know, especially in the markets during multiple market conditions. That's a good tool to have. 0.82% return, so still under 1%, but I'm in flow with the markets. And like I said, I'm buying it again here. So we're just going to keep rinsing and repeating it. Sold it 5 times so far in July for a grand total of 6.87%, double the S&P. So when everybody says, why this boring stuff? I love the boring stuff. I'm not a very exciting guy, but I love it. And I like to be very aggressive with very safe stuff. Looks like we had opportunity as well on the SPXL. Got the sell here, and then did get some buying opportunities here on the wick. So that was pretty good there. Let's take a look and see how we're doing on that. This is the triple levered S&P. So we sold it on Friday as well. So it's volatility picked up. I talked about that on the last video. And now you're starting to see it really work. And when volatility kicks up versus just a trending going straight up market, the trading aspect will really explode. So if it seems like it was just a total waste, remember there are different market conditions for different tools. So while the swing trade stuff was going off, this stuff was kind of like boring. But now it's starting to heat up. This was 1.46% returns. We sold it 4 times in July for a grand total of 4.38%, beating the S&P, of course. Back to the TQs, often move similarly to the SPXL. A little often more volatile. Looks like we sold this thing on Friday. And same thing. We got opportunity here on this wick. So definitely got another purchase in, just one lot. It didn't go crazy, right? But it did go, right? It's like that Motley Crue song, "Don't go away, mad, just go away," right? 2.33% return. Oh, yeah. Sold it 3 times so far in July for a grand total of 5.76% returns, almost double the S&P 500. So these are things that create alpha. And since I don't use these to fund the charity, they allow us to trade bigger. And that is pretty cool. I did sell a lot of swing trades today. So, you know, I felt like chicken tonight. So let's go ahead and get that going on. And we'll go through them one by one here. First one up, MTDR. And take her to the dailies where I do the swinging. And you can see it got close, man. And this one, I don't know if I just lost heart. The more you look at the stuff, but I'm starting to see this guy. I'm starting to see this guy here. See exactly where it stopped? I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not going to break through, but remember, time has value. And a lot of times I'm okay just taking the money off. And we're opening a lot of new positions too. So there's opportunity other places. I'm not too worried about getting every last drop out of it. Typically anything over the 1% I just think is gravy train, right? And that's the whys and what for. So let's go ahead and type it in and let's see what kind of return we got. Looks like 6.83% return. Oh yeah. From 6/28 to today, 2 weeks, almost 7%. That's how I like it. So I don't feel bad at all for taking the money. And annualized, that is 146.55% annualized returns, roughly. And I'm good with it. It's not in my universe. You see, we got it off the list. I'll be double checking those as I go through. It gets a little hectic trying to do things during the day. But people make time for things that are important to them. So if you look on the screen here, you're going to see the little D. You know I love the little D. We would hold it one more day, we would have got it. But more than anything, hit the 70. I don't want to hold off for a dividend just to watch the thing crash and burn. I got to hold it for 6 months. You follow? So I'm never greedy. Just taking my little bit and save some for the next person, right? Let's see what kind of return we got. We'll punch it in here into the spreadsheet. 4.31% return. I like it. And we've had it since 6/24, so that's more than the markets. And 74.91% annualized. There is value in getting out fast. There is. Everybody has their own little way on it, and for traders that do take losses and have a stop loss or whatever, it's more important to hold until the trend reverses and ride the full trend. But for me, I don't take a loss, so it's not as important, right? I'm not getting paper cuts along the way. Sherwin-Williams, this was a hell of a ride. The frickin' thing didn't reset up, which really screwed up our cost basis here. And let's see if I can find it. Not in here. There it is. But that's what kind of probably makes this one not a very good one. But like I said, with so many positions being presented to me, this was just kind of a stinker. It's not a bad business. 0.25% on the return. I just wanted out. I got out in profits. I'm a bag holder. And we'll just try to get luckier on the next one. It's only a 1.35% annualized return, roughly. And this is the equivalent of a loss, but I didn't lose. And I did collect a dividend, if that helps any, and that's not included in the annualized return. So overall, I'm good with it. We got up here to the 70. Had this thing triggered here, our average would have been somewhere in the middle, and I would have got a nice gain, but it just didn't work out that way. And I followed the system, so I feel good about that. And that's the beauty of a rules-based approach. Similarly, we got the little D coming up. We didn't hit the 70. I could have held it out, because you think people will immediately see this right here at the top. It's like, man, I could go all the way at least to there, right? But I'm looking down here at this floor that could become a ceiling, and we were getting pretty close. So I just got out. No regrets, as they say. And let's take a look and see how we did. There it is. 7-1, we got it. So again, let's reinforce the principle of time in that we haven't really held it that long. So if the gain is smaller, that's okay, because that's why I focus on the annualized returns. I'm really looking at putting a whole bunch of these together, right? I'm not looking at like any one trade to make the year. I'm looking at try to put together 500 trades to make the year. You know what I mean? So 3.42% on the return. Annualized, it's 89.15%. A phenomenal move here, and happy to keep it in. It is in my universe. You see it's still on the screen there. And here we go. American Express. We got the dividend. Order bill. Let's take a look. I don't see it. It's pending. Pay on August 9th. So we did get the dividend, and we get to ride this up to the 70 RSI. Beautiful. Let's take a look, see if we can find this in the list here. I got tired eyes, been at it all day, but this is important. Found it. 7-1. So again, 2 weeks here on the hold time. It's not very long at all, but you can see the power of getting back in after the flip, because the returns are 3.8%, which is awesome for 2 week period. You're starting to get a similarity going. That's 99.02% annualized. And if I can get a double, that's what most rich people go for. They think about the double. I don't think about the double. I think about the base hit. But the way I do UNM. The way I do the base hits is a high frequency so that they compound quickly to the double. UNM here. You can see the trade went against us a little bit. Kind of shaky on the entry. That's why you'll see, if you look around, you'll see people try to go for a pullback, buy in on a pullback in a shine of strength. But they'd got in roughly the same time. They would have less time in it. And that's just a different strategy for a different personality. I would just rather get the money in, buy a good company at a great price, and then just kind of let it ride, because time is your friend when you hold an undervalued asset, even if it's not priced correctly for a very, very long time. Eventually the averages catch up, and it's not if, it's when. So this one was 3.11% return from the second, so a little less than 2 weeks. Annualized is 87.19%. Beautiful trade. And you can see how much capital I'm freeing up for the next round. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a lot of entries in here as well. This one, when you look at the RSI, you're like, wow, dude, I mean, you're really a chicken. But what I'm factoring in is this dang golden line, right? And I just don't want, to do, because like you see here, boom, what happened after this yellow line? Pullback, yellow line, pullback, yellow line. Nah, I've seen this story before. It could break out, it could gap up above, it could really run, and I hope it does, because it's in my buy and never sell account as an investor. But this is trading, so I don't even know. On the 12th, this one didn't even make it onto the spreadsheet. We only bought this on Friday, so time is really working in our favor here. Oh yeah. And we get the list a little bit more manageable, and you'll see when the opportunities start drying up that it'll actually be kind of hard to get a trade in. So it won't be as hard to manage. 2.63% return. So nothing crazy, but again, we only held it over the weekend. So I'm happy to do that. Annualized, that turns into 319.9% returns. In my opinion, and smart people may disagree, but in my mind at least, I'm killing it. So the sum average of all the annualized returns, that's what I'm going for. FBIN, you can see similar thing. It was higher today. RSI was higher, 65-ish at the golden resistance here. So happy to get rid of this one. Oh, we had it. It filled today. Buy and sell in the same day. How you like them apples? Okay. This was a day trade. We'll take it. That's really going to be a good, sweet annualized return, don't you think? Can you look at the chart and visualize the entry point and where we got tagged in at? .87% return. I probably was unaware of this thing, but saw the yellow line along with the other ones. Just took it. I'd rather wait for a better spot. Looks like can't make it the same day. It messes with my formula. So we'll call it 316.17% return, but it's actually much more than that. But nothing big there. But you can see I wasn't in it long. I took a little bit of money off. And if I can peel a little money off over and over and over and over and over again, I'm going to do that. And over long periods of time, it adds up to a whole lot of money. And that's just how I like to do the markets. It's fun for me. Murphy Oil here. Let's take a look and see what we did. 627 on the entry. You can see it went against us a little bit. That's normal. It didn't break the lows or anything crazy. The trend stayed intact. 3.47 on the return percentage. And annualized 70.3%. Another base hit. ITW. This one needs to move down. Another one, probably not a big gainer. Looks like we locked in a dividend. You can see that on the screen. Also, yellow line. And I'm out. Get rid of our alert here. So obviously, I was a little busy here. And it was kind of a big position. So if you recall, before I went to baby size, I had normal size, right? So if I can sell those positions, number one, I've held them longer, and number two, they free up more capital, right? So there's value there, right? This was a break even here. This was a flop, 0.21% return. We had the thing 2 months, so the annualized is going to be a stinker. But I got my money back, 1.24% annualized. That's not how you crush the markets, but it's part of the story. And could held longer and captured a bigger move, but it already worked against me twice. I got a dividend, so that does increase the annualized, but we're not going to go into the weeds that far in order to figure out exactly what's going on. But I didn't sell for a loss. My stubbornness paid off. Here's another one, looked like damn near break even, but it's doing its thing, right? So this was a baby position anyway. I didn't feel too bad about getting this one out. And remember, I trade with a little bit of leverage, so if it's not doing the thing, I don't want to pay to hold the position because I actually have to pay. Time becomes, something that I had to pay interest on. So it was 3.24% return, which actually isn't bad. 28.87% annualized return, base hit. Anything over what the market average is, even though it's having a pretty fantastic year so far. The bowling ball company sold. Wow, pretty big position here. You can see this one went way freaking against me too. That's just kind of what happens. There we go. Let's take a look here. We had some size on this one. That's another reason I'm looking to really reduce my exposure to leverage, and it's going to make me money two different ways. One side, I won't have to pay the margin interest, which I don't really mind. It's just cost of doing business. Something's wrong here. My totals are not right because it's showing that's a huge gainer, and I don't think there's any possible way of that. So let's go down in the weeds here. Okay. I probably just put it in there twice or something. Yeah. I was missing the last purchase price. I think it just happened today. That's why. So, if they don't hit the 70 RSI, I leave the orders in. They just happen whenever they happen. So 0.9% return, just 1%, but I pulled a ton of capital out. It was a triple lot. On the flip side, and then swing trade entry 1, swing trade entry 2. So most of my stuff was up here, and it worked out well. Math was definitely my edge in this trade, and we did make some money. 5.28% on the annualized, nothing to write home about, but pretty good. I'm not sure if we made enough to trigger for the charity. We did a bunch of baby positions. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah, we had a good day. Heck yeah, we had a good day. All right. So last things last, you know what time it is. Swing trade entry. Let's take a little look-see here. Starting here with the cues, get my stuff in order here, and we'll call it a good day. So hopefully y'all are doing good, making money on the run. Don't get caught up in the fact that every day the market goes up, damn near it. So, okay. I'm also trying to look for duplicates and weird stuff. That's an entry, right? 29.10 over 29.02, and that's kind of what I've been looking out for so that I can cycle these too. So you start getting 100% annualized returns, even though it's not a 100% return, it's the annualized return because I'm always in a trade. Like if I made it 3% in a trade, and then I had to wait a week for a trade, and then I got another 3%, and then that wouldn't add up to 100%. But the fact that I'm always fully invested, it do. It's actually pretty accurate. So 29.50 on the closing print. It's the same for me as it is for you. Just missed the 8 o'clock Eastern, so none of these are going to fill. It's okay. I had to stay over a little bit at work. We're navigating the tough business cycle that is what we're in. Some people are still sleepy to it, but those kind of folks probably always be sleepy, and that's how that works. But we'll put the order in, hoping to get filled. Winnebago taking off to the races, and these other ones, trust and believe I'm watching them, and if I can cut them, I'm gonna cut them. But it's got to make sense, right? It's not just going to be initially when you start in the game, you'll cut everything like really quick. And people that are seasoned or that have, more time in the game, they probably think the same of me. But it's as you go up the mountain, you look back every now and again, and you see some newbie, right? But almost a decade in, and this is how I like to do it. That's it. Swing trade entry here on MSM, 80.84 on the closing print. It's the same price for me as it is for you. So we'll go ahead and clean that up. And we're going to swing trade all these suckers, take all this money, and give it all away. How you like that? Talk about the redistribution of wealth. Typically it goes the other way. But I really enjoy the stock markets, and I'm excited to share it with you via knowledge, and then eventually, if we can get some money together, get the charity off and rolling. And we'll really train some killers, man. See, that was another one, the Travelers trade. It just didn't set up. Same here. It went down against us, but it took so long, it didn't reset up. Excuse me, that one's close. I heard they're closing a lot of Cracker Barrels, and people, when they see that, they'll be like, oh no, I don't want that, and they'll sell off. But typically, just like a layoff, store closures can be a good thing because they keep all that money goes to the bottom line. I mean, that's another one for Hog. It just didn't hit for the second entry. See, this one did, right? When it went against me, it triggered here on the deal and I could get back in. So now my cost isn't up here where I'm trying to get out for nothing or 1% or whatever, but I had to hold it for a month. My cost base is in the middle here. I'm already in profits, I'm just kind of hanging out, right? And we're in the chop. So if it bumps up, had I seen the stuff up in here, I probably took it, you know. But that's how it works. And that's the way you can make money when the market goes down, because when it gets to your break even, you're in profits. You can just take it. But if you're greedy, you're just going to keep getting beat up. I'm lucky there, humble beginnings, so I am not greedy. Money does not breed happiness, but it is important. This is an entry. You hate it on such a big candle, but that's the entry. Halliburton. $35.23 on the closing print. I'm going to stay baby positions till I get mostly out of margin or all the way out, and then if I ever get any cash from dividends or whatever, I'm gonna go back to normal size. And what happens when I go to normal size is I'll take whatever opportunity is available, but I make way more money because the positions are bigger, right? It's the same percentages, it's just more zeros, you know. And I can turn it on. It's fun. It is very much like a gambler's deal, but I was a pro poker player, so calculated risk, I'm good with that. I'm at home. What the hell's going on here? 2 entries, no trigger down here. This is just a horrible trade. It may turn out to be wildly profitable, but it's going to take a long time, right? And time is a factor to consider. I'd much rather just have mine quick, but only works that way about half the time. And the other half the time, you got to figure it out. What are you going to do? How long you want to hold this thing? You know, kind of like a popsicle in the summer. You want to hold it, let it drip all over your hand, or you going to eat it? So sometimes I eat it. Locking in a dividend there on American Eagle. You know, I like that D. And these other ones, I'm just kind of waiting, you know. If there's no yellow line, I like to see at least a 65. I don't typically hold out for the 70, but I got the alert there. So that way, another dividend. If I'm busy, my phone's going to light up. And it's going to say, hey, dummy, come get your money. And I will. This one showed the screener again today. The beautiful part, you know, we've got our flips in here, right? Buying it all in through here, but we're just hanging out. So as it goes sideways or maybe even further down, we're not at any more risk. We don't have a huge position. And when the swing trade entry sets up, we can use math as our market advantage and get out, you know. Good money after bad is what some call it. Bag holder, the derogatory term. But I love it, and that's the way I treat the markets. Same thing for my eBay store, man. I'm selling this stuff for less than I'm buying it for. And somebody that doesn't get it, they'll be like, how do you make money selling stuff for less than you buy it for? It's because I'm giving it, man. Doing a solid for somebody. 83.77. And I use investing, right? Come on, man. It's not what you do, sometimes it's the order you do it in. 83.77. For Chesapeake. And we'll go ahead and remove the flag. This one could be a good one, right on the 200. Could be a nice support to launch the computer algorithms. The computer algorithmic trading, in my opinion, for my strategies, those are my buyers, man. Those that, like, if they was real people, I would probably send them coupons, you know. Those are my favorites. Cormac It's about fixing to get cut. Getting close. But I think it's an edge. Yeah, that one's going to be a tough one. So they're not all winners. You see the 200-300% annualized and all that. And you're like, wow, he's really killing it. And on those trades, I am, but it's the average of all of them, right? And whoa, hold on. This is an entry for sure. 137, yeah. GPC right on the 200. So if we gap and go, there's a weird thing with the politics going right now. So I saw on the news feed something about that was the reason the market went up today, and I thought, wow, some of these people are out to lunch. They just don't know. I mean, it's not their fault. But they got the internet same as I do. Woo. But there's people that's their business to get people to click, right? So 141.23 closing print, same for me as it is for you. All right, remove the flag. The RSI shot up, but who knows, right? Whoa. I should maybe start putting them in for 65. I could be really chicken. I could be fried chicken. What's going on here? There's no RSI on it. How many shares do we have of this thing? Just the one entry, it looks like. We'll go ahead and put our alert. They just expire after so long. We have held this thing a while. But we locked in a dividend. So that's another one. Like, we didn't make any money on the trade, but we locked in a dividend. And that's why half the dividends go into investing in my investing account. So if you haven't seen the main account videos, I put those up last weekend, did the public account videos as well. And also the statement videos for the trading card channel on the second channel if you're interested in that. But we are creating passive income through that as well. But that's why the dividends, even though it's a trading account, it creates cash flow. And half of those just go right into investing, and they increase my income. It's like getting a raise. That's exactly the way I look at it. Getting a raise. Because people can understand getting a raise if they've had a job, right? Here's an entry for a couple days ago, but look at that. You're going to have to show me something. You have to get above this 200 and show me something, bud. We're holding a bunch of it. This one, too, finally did break out. It's going to be one heck of a dividend unless it gets to 30.5. And I get rid of the shares that I got assigned during the option stuff. But I still have, several hundred shares, so really nice position and should do out just fine. The bottom half here should go pretty good. We'll blast through. A little late start, I had to work over, so thanks for bearing with me. If you made it this far, give me a like, would you? I'd appreciate that. More people, even if it's not like here, follow this cookie cutter, they need to be aware that you can make money in the stock market. And Norfolk Southern, I think we sold this thing today, didn't we? So, when you like and subscribe, more people are likely to see it. That's the whole deal. I'm not selling nothing. But I wish somebody had showed me we did sell this thing. Let's get rid of their alert here. That's what caught my eye. We're just cleaning house here. And step by step, day by day, show you guys, as for somebody who doesn't know nothing about it, if they'll just sit here and watch, they'll slowly learn. Look at that. It did finally go all the way up to the 70. It did. That's what's a good learning tool too, is to watch me get out chicken, and then see the thing hit the 70, because that really builds a conviction that, oh crap, this does work. Because there's several levels that you have to go through when you learn how to trade stocks. And the first one is this even possible, right? A lot of people are full of bull. So is this even possible? And then you're like, okay, it worked a few times, but does it work like on the regular, right? And then eventually, after several other, steps of building your conviction, you become bulletproof. And I don't even think about putting this money to work, because I know that it works. It can be tied up for a little while, but while it's tied up, it kicks out cash flow. So I'm okay with that. It's not the number one, way I would like to do it. It's not my favorite. It's not the goal. It's not what we're going for. It doesn't beat the market, right? But it contributes, and you got people on the team contributing. It works. It adds up. Look at Bank of Hawaii really went. I think that was another one I chickened out. But in my opinion, it doesn't matter as long as I can find another opportunity, right? But it very well does happen sometimes where I sell a winner that went way further and I buy something that goes down. It happens. But I think people that see that are trying to watch the channel in a vacuum, and they don't understand the 3-account system, which I go over in the statement video. So if you missed out on all that and you want to know the big picture, you don't get it on these daily videos. You got to watch those statement videos. Because the idea is to be able to put massive amounts into long-term investing. But being, poor growing up and having to figure it out, the math said that I would die before I ever got a sizable amount of money. And I didn't want to do that. So I learned how to trade. And trading was my way out. I retired last year and then went back to work. As you learn, I thought not having to work was the goal. And turns out that is just the starting line to level 2 if you want to leave a legacy, and I do. That's it. So, nice video there. Probably a little long-winded. I had a lot of activity today, and looks like 47 minutes. Holy cow. If you're still here, hit the like button for me. Thank you all for watching, and have a great evening. We'll catch you in the next one.